Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Keep This in Mind, brought to you by SpectHealth.com. And yes, I do realize I have the same opening page that I had yesterday, and this is a new day. It's Tuesday. It is interview day, usually. And I am super stoked to have somebody that I consider a mentor, a coach, a friend, somebody whose heart is much like mine, that we want to see people improve their lives. It has been it's been a challenge, though, for me to embrace him, because he is a LSU fan living in Florida, and I was a Florida fan living in LSU. So I guess we're kindred spirits, but on opposite ends of the spectrum. But this guy, he is a successful entrepreneur, Amazon best-selling author, business coach. I mean, he's owned multiple franchises. I mean, I'm just blowing this guy up, and I'm not sure his head's going to fit into the screen, but I'd like to introduce you today to my good friend, Omar Medrano. Omar, how's it going, sir?
It's going great. The pleasure is all mine. Sometimes we choose to raise our levels. That's why I want to tell you. But thank you. You should be my publicist, because an intro like that, at least write my dating profile. I don't know. I want to plug. Exactly.
Oh, well, let me kind of talk to you just for a moment about, I first heard you give a talk in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, about mindset and fear holding people back from their dreams. And you even wrote a book called What If It Did Work? And I kind of want you to take us through the genesis of that. What led you, what lessons, what life things happened that taught you about this whole concept of what if it did work? Because I'm like you. I think people have this fear that holds them back from their greatness. But kind of tell me how it affected you in your life and why you wrote the book.
We create our own monsters. We create our own boogeyman. It's all limiting beliefs since you're a little child. I mean, I felt I was different. I was born in 1973. Mom and dad divorced before I was even born. So just within that spectrum, I felt different. I lived also in Miami at a time where it wasn't the international city. In fact, Miami, everything closed down on Friday nights for yeehaw, because can't be an amazing show like that. And I always felt I had no self-esteem, low self-worth. It was like if my father could leave, I still haven't seen him. On a bizarre note, he does follow me on Facebook, and he's like one of my biggest fans. I can post about LSU, I can post about whatever. I got more likes from that than actual conversations with the man. But it was that. It was always this fear, because then my mom even plays fear. I grew up in a time when John Walsh and Adam Walsh, my mom would, don't talk to strangers. They're going to abduct you. Then it was like, your father's going to kidnap you one day. So it was like, oh my gosh. That, and my self-worth, I couldn't even ask how to grow, because, oh my gosh. How about if she says it? The Miami Herald will find out. The local news, they'll probably fly a banner, because they started flying banners in the early 80s. Everybody would know. And it was just, we are always, all our limiting beliefs are self-induced, because God created me, God created you, Dave. God created all this in His image, and that image is to thrive, to go out, to live a life on your own terms, not for crumbs, not for the crumbs of love, not for the crumbs of success, of working for someone else and making their life happen. But yet we always fall into these patterns, because we feel like, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve it. And that's why we always focus on the negativity. I can't ask out that girl. She'll ghost me. She'll ruin my life. She'll give me toxicity. What I'm looking for in a relationship, I don't know, because we never focus on asking better questions. It's always we focus, we tend towards the negativity. If we ask two people, why don't you open up your own business? Well, I'm going to go bankrupt. The debtors are going to come and throw me in debt jail, which hasn't happened since the Revolution. Just craziness. The Wall Street Journal will run a full-page ad. Omar Medrano's business goes belly up. We always go, well, how about if I die? We always go to like the worst case scenario instead of just focusing on what if it did work.
Yeah, and I want to unpack the little thing that you said there. So, years of programming, right? Years of experience. I don't think a little kid, that's learning how to walk is wondering what if I fall. They've got their eyes on the prize. So, how do we undo years of programming? What is there a methodology that really can help somebody move out of this fear-based, failure-based thinking into looking at the world through the lens of, well, what if it did work?
Easy. Everybody wants the grand slam. Everybody wants the microwave to success. Everybody wants gratification, instant success. But you have to start small. Did I start out as a public speaker? I couldn't even ask out a girl. I couldn't even talk. I was fearful of having somebody, a teacher, ask the question, ask me for the answer, because I felt like, oh my gosh. It's a process. You have to start, but you have to wake up every day, and you have to put in the work on a consistent basis. You don't go from I've never written a book to writing War and Peace. You don't go from I can't put a paragraph together to all of a sudden you're the next writing Harry Potter. It just doesn't work that way, but that's what we want. We want to lose the weight overnight. We watch The Biggest Loser. We don't realize that's stage. We don't realize those people like 500 pounds. So maybe just duct taping their mouth for a week, they will lose 40 pounds. People don't understand that, but they quit. It's already February. And New Year, you, me. What happened? The first month, man, the gym was packed. You couldn't even find a treadmill. You couldn't even find an elliptical. And the elliptical is like your ex-girlfriend. Lies. You don't burn 1,000 calories 30 minutes. They lie. Always remember, when you get on that, just remember, oh, this reminds me of that my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of equipment in the gym that lies, to be honest with you. But
that's one of them. It's liar.
The thought process, though, for me, and you really got into it with they forget about the journey in the middle. I'm here, my current reality. I don't like me. I'm scared. I'm afraid to move, and they see the end result person, who is, like you said, the big weigh-in winner of Biggest Loser. I did a little research on that show. Generally they took 9 months to a year with those contestants, but they air it in 13 weeks. So, again, timelines. What would you say to the person that says, Omar, I'm not where I want to be, obviously. I'm somewhere like 2 steps beyond. I'm trying to not think this way, but something just keeps getting in the way. I keep reverting back to my old self. I keep contracting back to a place of comfort. What would you tell that person that says, I've tried the things, okay? I've read the books, I've done the diet, I've gone to the class, I've done the boot camp. What would you tell that person that says, I've done the things. How do I get through the journey?
Two things. No more wire hangers. Quit beating yourself up. We don't need Faye Dunaway. We don't need Joan Crawford. We are our own worst critic. Success isn't an elevator that goes straight up. There's redemption usually involved. There's always steps. Take a step back, you fall. Get back up. And the second thing is, one of the things that I always preach, originally I was always business development. Personal development, mind, body, spirit. We fail because self-destructive behavior that we don't feel we're worthy of success. This isn't for me. That's the reason why the Biggest Loser, all those contestants gained the weight back. They didn't fix their mindset. They went back to their old behaviors. That's why when you see people, I pulled the progressive slot machine at Caesar's Palace. I'm broke 2 years later. Why? Because they didn't have the mindset. And when something is given to you, that's why God, the universe, it's a process. It's a journey. It's a journey. You might not like the journey, but you have to create the result. You have to create the result like it's your next breath of air.
So one of the things that that really spoke to me in your book was you were very transparent about your own journey. That you know you've made money. Making money was never like your thing, but as far as a huge obstacle for you, you knew how to work and you knew how to outwork. But there came a point where life beat you up and things didn't go your way and you kind of went to a little bit of a dark place. Speak to that for a moment of how you pulled yourself out or what steps you took to go from, because you were self-admitted, you have a tendency to go negative. How do you work yourself out of that when you do feel like everything's piled on your shoulders, everything has failed, you suck, the whole narrative that we tell ourselves? What did you do personally that might speak to somebody else in their journey when they feel like the darkness is surrounding them?
The darkness will always surround you. Your limiting beliefs. People don't change. Just our awareness of the situation, how we react to it. I'll always be an introvert. I'll always have to fight those demons. I always have to push through. Even hearing no, I talk about, it's just a no. But hearing 25, 50, 100 no's all at once, yes, I have to meditate. I have to reflect. I have to say this is just temporary. Money and success ebb and flow. There's peaks and valleys. Most people don't go shoot up like a rocket ship and don't come back down. It's a process. And if you make money and you lose money, you got two choices. Either stay down, cry, maybe look for cyber hugs on social, or you get up, inspire, motivate, show people this isn't the end. This is just a chapter. This is just a temporary phase. This is just a redemption story that God created for you. Because we all have setbacks, but eventually, if you go through it, you will have a comeback. And it's like, well, you're older than me. It's like when Steve Miller won to get to heaven, you have to go through hell sometimes.
I agree 100%. And with my advanced age, you'd be surprised how much I can actually remember. But I do want to talk about, because I think the way your author journey has gone really and truly is almost like it's chapters of a bigger story, right? The first book is the initial act of the play, if you will, and then now your second book, Vacation CEO, is kind of like, okay, once you've developed the skill set, now here's what we get to do with it. Can you kind of talk about what the new book is about and kind of give our audience some ideas of how this will benefit them?
How this will benefit them is whether you're a small business owner, an entrepreneur, a wanted entrepreneur, which is somebody that's, I'm getting ready. And they never do. They're always on the sidelines. Or the third person, like, I've got my cushy corporate job. We can all create a side hustle. We can all call you Dave. and create a new side hustle. And you like that plug right there? And make the side hustle. It's all about becoming a business owner and a leader, not a boss. Most people work for bosses. Most people are bosses and not leaders. A leader isn't somebody that just buys the posters that talks about leadership, that talks about teamwork, and
I bought the posters, by the way. When I was
that?
I said I bought the posters when I was running a newspaper one time. It didn't work. You got to lead by example.
No, exactly. And I came from a franchise background. And when you only have one location of anything, you bought yourself a job. Bravo. It's time to scale. Now, the name Vacation CEO was something given to me because everybody saw how, quote unquote, at the time, lucky I was when I was married and I was going on vacation with my children and my wife at the time. It was never, oh my gosh, he put in a lot of work. People created their own narrative, whether I was lucky, I was born wealthy. And it's the furthest thing from the truth. I recommend that book. When I first started writing it, I'm like, oh, this is only for entrepreneurs. But to me, it's for everybody because either you want to work for a company like that, you want to create a company like that. We all need side hustles. We all need extra income, especially. And we can say, well, the economy's getting a little bit better, but no matter what, we're always going to have inflation. We're always going to have uncertainty in life. The only thing certain is that old adage, death, taxes, and probably government screwing things up. Three things.
I love what you said about people form their own narrative. I believe that people see you where you are now, and very rarely do they know where you came from or how you got to where you are right now. What would you say to the person that says, well, I could never do that because of the way I was brought up, or because I've never been that way, or, I've always worked for somebody else. Why would I want to work for myself, and have all those headaches? What would you say to that individual that thinks that, and I'm not casting shade on anybody that thinks that way, but what would you say to them in when they say those types of things?
They're right. Absolutely correct. It's the mindset. If you say you're defeated, you're defeated. Nor I, paying $1 million a year to Anthony Robbins. It all starts with the belief. Change happens when you're sick and tired of being knocked down. When you're sick and tired of the scraps. Change only happens when you decide staying here the same outweighs the pain of trying something new, something different. So when somebody tells me that they can't, this is the same person. I'll never read your books. I don't watch your podcasts. I don't watch your videos. Congratulations. I don't know what You got this much significance out of telling me that. But what are you doing in your life? Are you following somebody way more important? If that's the case, then congratulations. But more than likely, no, these people quit drinking. These people probably never even drank. Those are the people that have never, that the only reason why they know Anthony Robbins is because they saw Shallow Hal. They could have John Maxwell right next to them. They could have Grant Cardone right next to them. They could have Jim Rohn, the spirit of Jim Rohn, right next to them. And they're too busy streaming videos on their phone to pay attention. Even though Jim Rohn's dead, if he was there, they still wouldn't even notice.
Oh, absolutely. And let's talk about that, because I believe that improving yourself is paramount to moving forward and stepping into what your purpose is, or what God has for you, depending on your faith system. But to me, the level of distraction is so high right now, and it's almost like if you veer off at all, I'll give you an example. So I don't do TikTok, but I do Reels because it's tied to my Instagram and Facebook and all the things, right? And if I, usually because I follow the Omar Madranos and the John Maxwells and all the people, my Reels, the algorithm's feeding me more and more of that. Maybe it's preachers, maybe it's whatever. But if I veer off into golf, all of a sudden the algorithm switches, and now what was feeding me is now distracting me. And I have caught myself 20 minutes in, and it's been nothing but golf reels or football or whatever. What would you say to a person that seems to be easily distracted out of what they're supposed to be doing?
What you focus on, you get. So that's why my reels, your reels, Anthony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Ziegler, and any of those guys, Stephen Covey, even though some of these are they post more than
they post more than they were when they were alive. Yeah,
their base of likes is relatively small compared to some of the stupid stuff that's out there. Now somebody's heard somebody saying, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe my life." But yet they're looking at the watch. They're like, I can't wait till it's 4 o'clock. Not or 5 o'clock. Not so they can go home and work on a business plan. Not so they can go home and write down their goals. Not so that they can improve their life or watch videos, which are free on YouTube by anybody. Because before we would have to buy, and I joke about it all the time, that personal power. The rush delivery growing up was 7 days. So if you were suicidal, you had to wait 7 days to listen to it. Now anything you can buy it, boom, it's right there. But now we have so much information, but yet people love to lie to themselves and go, I don't know how to do it. I don't know. Well, I mean, you certainly know how to YouTube. Two dudes kicking themselves in the nuts, but you don't know how to YouTube. And it's like what I've told you millions of times. I laugh because I look at the numbers of the video bloggers or whatnot on people that cover LSU, and it's like staggering. It's like, oh my gosh, these guys are gods. But it's the only thing that they focus on in the South. LSU's undefeated in women's basketball. I don't know how that's going to improve someone's life. Yeah, Brian Kelly and LSU keeps on being Florida in football. It doesn't matter coach. But how is that going to improve anybody's life? But yet that's all they focus on. Right now, everybody in South Louisiana, they're checked out for 3 weeks because it's Mardi Gras.
It's Mardi Gras. Yeah.
And oh my gosh, if it's not parades, we have crawfish bowl. Because nobody's ever had a crawfish bowl. In fact, you can eat the crawfish, but if you're sitting with Joe Bob and Bobby Hebert for 5 hours, 6 hours on a Saturday, but you say you don't have enough time for anything else. I mean,
yeah, I think to clarify a little bit, we're not saying any of those things are bad in and of themselves. It's just when they dominate, and you tell me they become more prioritized than the things that move the needle in your life. I think go ahead. Uh-oh. You muted yourself, sir. You still there? Well, folks, we'll see if Omar makes it back here before we. Oh, there he is. Oh, he hung up. There he is. There you are. You gotta love technology.
Hey, that's okay. Like I said, I just mastered the abacus and worked on the word process. But people are checked out, Dave. People only they only check in to things that take away their pain. And yes, Netflix, fiction, crawfish boils, if it's all you do. If right now you're sitting and you're like, man, I can't wait to go to that Endymion parade. I can't wait for spring football. I can't wait. I love college football. I love college sports. But I can't sit down and watch college football 4 games on a Saturday. And three games on a Sunday, NFL, and then wonder why I don't have a relationship. I know plenty of people who are like, I wonder why my wife and I we're just not connecting. It's like, well, I'm watching ESPN every night and watching the Pelicans play or the Miami Heat play all 82 games. Unless she's a sports fanatic, she's not going to dig that.
Yeah, I would agree. And like you said earlier, what you focus on, you become. And unless you're going to be an anchor on ESPN, consuming that much sports content's probably not going to benefit you in the long run. Again, we're sports nuts. He and I both are. But at the end of the day, what is priority in your life? And I think that is probably the overreaching, overarching sentiment of everything that we should do is what is priority. Because if it's priority in your life, then you will begin to, like you say, work the muscle until you get past the fear. You will, focus on those things. You will self-improve, if that's a priority, but only you as a person can make that a priority. Yeah, I love what you've told me before, and I haven't necessarily done the research, but and I'm not picking on my home state. So, guys, Louisiana people who may or may not be watching, but Grant Cardone, one of the most famous people with regard of coming out of Louisiana from a business acumen, business success standpoint, is relatively unknown as a percentage of the people in his own hometown of Lake Charles. That tells me where the focus is among a lot of people in certain areas is that it's just not in those areas. And I'm not saying right or wrong, but those are the same people that are complaining their job sucks. Do you agree, sir?
Oh, completely. I joke all the time. There are no none of his coaches based in Lake Charles, Louisiana. I've spoken to plenty of alums, especially when I owned the Smoothie King. The director, the head of real estate, which last I checked, that's Grant Cardone's specialty, is real estate. Alum of McNeese State, he's a cowboy. And I'm like, you must be proud. That Grant going to the same school, Grant Cardone. And he looked at me. And he's like, who's that?
No.
So the guy in real estate.
Wow.
But it's just that. It's what you focus on. And it's not just a Louisiana thing. It's majority of people are checked out. Majority of people believe that they're Nancy Kerrigan. They want to say, why spring, why me, to God, to the universe. They don't understand. All our stuff is always self-inflicted. When we can actually say, I messed up. This is all on me. Our lives are based on all the choices. You and I right now are speaking. We are here right now because of every choice. The negative, the positive, the indifferential things that we thought were indifferential have led us to right here, right now.
Absolutely. And I would say too that as we, and I don't want to gloss over tragedies that have happened in people's lives, but like you said, everything that made you who you are now, you may be a better person, a better parent because of the the adversity you faced as a child. You know, the things. Well, if this wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't be like that. You were meant to be a certain way. Your life led you to this point. And your experiences may make you more sympathetic to somebody else who's going through this. I have a client that I told this the other day. I said, dude, the fact that you are having to really work hard to stay in structure with your nutrition is going to make you so much more empathetic and sympathetic to people that you help, because you have experienced this. So I believe, you know, and I think Ed Milet says this, you know, things don't happen to us, they happen for us, but it's really hard to frame it as a for us thing. And I believe that part of your story is the reason why you and I have connected in such a way. And you know, folks, he's my business coach. I'm just going to throw it out there. And he is helping me move the needle in my life in so many different ways. And it's because he knows the kind of person that I am, because he's been the kind of person that I am. And so he's like, David, I've been there, done it. Omar, just speak for a moment to the using the past as a sword instead of a crutch, using the past as a way to help instead of hold you back.
Our lives, the past should only be used to reflect, gosh, I've come so far. Or, you know, to use the story to inspire, to motivate. I mean, I've lost over 50 pounds. I was 50 pounds heavier at one time. I can relate. I know that feeling that people get that I'm going to look silly going to the gym. We all look silly doing the first, you know, when you're in sales, nobody was born a salesman. You have to go through it. You have to cold call. You have to hit the lumps. You have to realize that no, it's just temporary. The thing is, and I realize this being divorced, so many people live in their past. They're in the circle of their past that they just you can't get there. Whether it's an amazing time or a horrible time, if you always focus on it, if you always live there, if you always try to rewrite your history or her story, what's the point? And people sometimes want to take a shot or talk to me about my past. I'm like, I know my past. I've lived there. Sometimes I tried to rewrite my history. You know, feed my ego or try to. All you can do. We're creating our legacy. And you know, right? An amazing masterpiece. Right now. This you know, my 49th chapter, soon to be 50. That's you know, I can't focus on, and that's why I mean, unless you're suicidal, really, I tried therapy a million years ago. I can't right now blame my parents, their action. They did the best they could. Everybody needs to drop any anger, any resentment towards the past. Everybody does the best they could. You can't blame something. I can't blame my history. My upbringing or anything. When I'm 49, we all have common sense. We know it's good. We know it's bad. But when somebody's like, "Oh, I'm an alcoholic because I saw it growing up," well, there's plenty of people that did the opposite. You chose that path, and now you chose to blame someone else. Now the reason why I don't think therapy works is because if I focus on something that's horrible, and I keep on reliving it over and over. And you know, I pay for the hour, but I only get 50 minutes. Just charge me for the 50 minutes and tell me it's a 50-minute session. And we're like, Omar, let's get back to that same thing. Let me pretend I'm writing down notes. So next week, we can continue discussing the same thing, the same traumatic experience over and over. We hold on to pain. We hold on to negative emotions. We put it in our backpacks that we carry, our Gucci, our Fendi, our Prada, whatever name brand, Dooney Burke. And we keep on stuffing it. What we need to do, one, don't bury. A lot of times, too, we try to bury it like dead bodies out in Vegas desert. Instead of what we need to do, instead of holding on to the pain or burying it, Just let the negative emotions go through you and release. Forgive yourself. Forgive that other person. Forgive those people. And let's move on.
That's so good. That is so good. Yes. Use that. Experience it, but don't dwell in it. And so, Omar, I think we've pretty much hit all the topics, all the things. We've had a, if you want to talk college football, we can talk college football. Although I'm pretty sure I know where you stand. Anyway, how can folks get a hold of you? Tell me a little bit about the books. Tell me how they can follow you.
Well, my books are available on Amazon. Omar Medrano. What if it did work? Or Vacation CEO. I'm like the patron saint of St. Jude, but instead of lost causes, I'm the lost causes of business and personal development. I'm completely public. You can DM me. You can ask me questions. Just don't tell me I look like crap, and you can make me look like I'm 20. Or don't try to sell me Forex. Don't try to sell me, crypto. Don't tell me that you're the next Warren Buffett, but you decided the kindness of your heart you want to help me out. We don't. I don't answer that silliness. But any question you can DM me. I'm also completely public and join the group. What if it did work? You're a member. You'll see. I let other people promote. I'll put videos. I'll put tweets. I'll put other stuff on it. But there's never been a cause. Hey, I don't pitch on that. Others can pitch, but I want to create a community. That once I'm with St. Peter, once I'm in purgatory, once I'm wherever I'm at, that it can continue. And I'm on Instagram too, Omar Medrano 73. There's a fake account which has less followers. There's only a pic of one kid. I've got two daughters that I post pictures of. And the smaller account will try to sell you crypto. Will try to sell you for. And clearly, if you know me, I'll never try to pitch that crap.
Oh man.
And you can DM me, you can fax me, you can send me smoke signals. I answer every question.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for being on the show today. I believe that we produced quite a bit of value for those watching. And follow him everywhere he wants you to follow him, and do the things that he said do. Begin to change your mindset to what if it did work. Because remember, it's not knowledge that is power. It's applied knowledge that is power. God bless.
God bless you.